Hello everyone and welcome back to Storybreakers. It is 2023 and we are kicking off the 7th episode of our D&D series. I am Wheels, your Dungeon Master. Let's go around the table and reintroduce our characters, starting from the left. Mr. Matt Jarvis.
You threw me off there. You looked right and went left. Hello, I'm Matt Jarvis. I play Hunter Burrows. I am a Tortle Paladin. I'm the old guard of this particular group. I've been around for a while. I'm very tired. I have a shell.
What are you talking about?
And there's time to come
I'm
out.
talking about the character. Yeah, I don't have a shell. I do have a shell. It's in the office. I can't wear it because you won't see it on camera.
Because it's a
But
child.
please know I do own one. It is
You
a child
absolutely
backpack.
can wear it. You're supposed to be in character, Matt. I don't understand.
Moving on. It's Alex Meehan.
Hello, my name's Alex Meehan. I play Carrieris West, who is a half-elf bard,
She is.
and she wants to become an anchor.
A what?
An anchor. Sorry, I said
Anchor.
that. One.
Like a ship.
Going to the other side of the table, we start with Maddie Cullen.
Hello, it's me. I'm Maddie Cullen. I am playing Winona Thandria Whisperbane, who is just Winona. I am a ranger. I'm an intern. I have a little pet Drake that I take everywhere. And that's pretty much me. Bow and arrow is my personality.
Pick me.
I'm unique and different. No, the other girls have a bow and arrow special.
And last but not least, it's Olivia Kennedy.
Hi, I'm Olivia. Are you sure? No. And I'm playing Iris Walker, best girl of Storybreaker.
Wow.
You just said that you were the best girl.
Oh,
The
bold.
D&D waifu.
Did I say that?
I don't know. Thought it would
being
be funny.
gaslit.
I'm sorry.
It is not even halfway through January and you're already gaslighting Maddie.
Worst girl of Storybreakers, Olivia Kennedy. I'm a rogue slash,
What?
you know, you know what it is.
I don't know. It
Oh,
hasn't
of
been
course not.
revealed yet.
I'm cool. I'm losing my mind.
I feel like it.
I've got
She
horns.
does really good flips.
I'm a tiefling. I'm flipping, and then that's it. Really, I've always had a katana on my back.
I feel like that was an introduction that a child would make at a summer camp.
I feel I really undersold myself.
Tell me about your character. Well, they're like really cool.
Yeah,
They
but
always wear
a
sunglasses
dream
and have a good
where
time.
They've got
you-
20
you're
arms and
going
they're all
and
holding
you,
swords.
and you wish and you want to and she's so cool.
And they would be Sonic's best friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're also Shadow.
But
But
they're
they're
white-
not Shadow, but
They're a
they're
white
Shadow.
hedgehog
Sonic
and they're
Adventure
called White
2.
Lightning. They're faster than Sonic.
Yeah, you know, all of that. She's the same color as Sonic, basically. So like,
Maddie,
same thing.
could you please give us, considering it's been a little bit of a break, let's have the story so far.
Okay, I would just like to preface this by I can't read my own writing.
Great.
Professional.
The story. What? I wasn't
I mean,
hired
that
for
is
my
that's true
handwriting.
like journalist vibes. Is
Yeah.
write
Yeah.
things down and then be unable to read the notes.
Yes,
on it, yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
then you can
was
misquote
interested in the
people.
handwriting, honestly.
Whoa!
You don't know what it says.
This is such an incriminating episode starter. This is wild.
Jarvis' face.
We are journalists in a small town called Ragrump. Represent. I live here. I live here.
Me, Maddie, I live here.
I come to work from Ragrump every day. I tie my rags on my car.
Tie my rags to my rump and I go on.
Can we not just?
Okay, we're just sometimes have
Oh, so good to speak more everywhere.
and we joined the Ragrump part of the Society Star, which is basically a very small version of probably already quite a small newspaper that people are kind of like, I don't know, we cover things like when a big pumpkin got stepped on, pretty much.
Things being a loose
Classic
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
description
Things.
there.
I am a new intern that just joined, along with Carrieris, who is from the big city. This is not for her, whereas I'm like, this is great. I have a job in my hometown. Love it. Aris is here. Maybe some shady circumstance. I should have just cut you off. Aris is here. Hunter is also.
Wow.
Aris is here. She's been here for a little while, not as long as Hunter, who is kind of like the yeah, as you said, the old guard. who works here. Iris has got suspicious circumstances, perchance. But who knows? And it all kicks off because people have started to disappear, and the mayor's acting like, that's fine, even though it's not. And then there's big earthquakes that are happening, and people are disappearing at the same time as the earthquakes. So that might be linked, perchance. Maybe when we get to a later episode, I don't know how to go through all of them.
Do you want me to pick up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's been disappearances across the town. Things were already slightly suspicious, but as things got more and more dangerous, even to a point where someone's entire house sunk underground, people started to think, actually, there might be something going on here. What was even more strange and mysterious was the fact that famous Heroes and Adventurers Guild adventurer / hero, Maxwell Morgan, has arrived in town. Someone who is very, very, very famous. Way too famous to be in a town like Ragrump.
Cool. Just literally the coolest person ever.
You may notice that Winona is a big fan. And they've had like a sort of mentor-mentee relationship recently. As well as handing out signed prints and balloons, etc., etc. But things all kick off when the gang find, let's say, evidence of some kind of conspiracy.
Pile of gold. We found a pile of gold.
No pile of gold was found. But there were, in fact, strange occurrences like, for example, Rump the Ragger, the town mascot.
Beloved.
Returning after, presumably, had gone missing. All of a sudden, they're acting strange. They don't remember things they should. They smell like the cologne of Maxwell Morgan's PR manager. So upon trying to investigate this, the crew actually find out that Jeremy, the PR manager for Maxwell Morgan, has been slipping some kind of potion into the pockets of these costumes, multiple of which were found behind the Better Mega Mart, the local sort of Tesco, essentially. And there's just something going on. People are up to something. Presumed Maxwell Morgan, but who actually it was, we don't know.
Ooh.
Maxwell, in fact, had a bit of an alibi for the night that people were running around in Rump the Ragger costumes, getting up to no good. Because when he came to find Jeremy, it was Iris who had to break the news that Jeremy, after being chased, fell into one of the sinkholes that's been popping up around town.
Look, we both chased someone. Mine just happened to fall into a pit.
Mine disappeared in a bright flash of light.
One is more whimsical than the other.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town, these two were talking to Mayor Riso, trying to sort of pick at what he's been up to, see if he's involved in this kind of strange conspiracy going on behind the town. Turns out he is not. He's more just doing his best, which isn't great. He was on the verge of dashing. Yeah, literally was about to walk out the window and into a carriage and never be seen again before Carrie Iris and Hunter managed to convince him to stay and do his job to the best of his ability. But he revealed that Maxwell Morgan was personally invested in coming into town and figuring out what is going on here in Ragrump.
In here, on this day, in this town.
We kick things off. It is a cold morning. It's overcast in the sky. The four of you have met up to walk to the office, deciding that maybe it's best to stick together, considering how many people have gone missing in town. Maybe Carrie, maybe that was your idea.
Oh, it was definitely my idea. Yeah.
What if we all tie a rope around our waists and then we're all tied to each other, and then if one falls down a hole, then we can stop the rest falling by bracing ourselves like a rock climber.
Hunter just sighs, knowing that he will be the ballast. He has an enormous shell on his back. He's just like...
Imagine the three others just dangling from the
I'm just imagining those little leashes you put on top.
Yeah, it's very much that vibe.
Yeah.
As you're walking down the street, you're heading to the high street. Perhaps you came from Winona's house, as two of you are currently staying there. When you hear a scream around the corner.
Everyone hold hands!
Carrie Iris.
Sorry, mine's already sweaty.
Oh, it's always
It's real life and a game, so don't hold my real life.
Okay.
Carrie Iris doesn't mind. She's just gripping your hand with strength that you never knew that she had. Yeah.
There's some kind of commotion on the high street. People are shouting. It sounds like a pained yelp as well.
Let's run towards it, but be careful because we're holding hands.
Okay, I let go of the hand and I run. sorry.
As you round the corner, Iris, you see some kind of panic in the street. Things from like the fronts of shops have been turned over. There's like vegetables and fruit like rolling through the mud. Some kind of window has broken and there's glass everywhere. And you see like panicked people sprinting past you. And right in the center of the street, sort of hunched over with claws, just sort of like darting left and right and lashing out at anything that comes too close, there is a group of 3 creatures.
I think, Carrier is clip-clopping behind as fast as she can run.
I'm tugging along.
Yeah, you're tugging.
I'm thaumaturgy just like, red alert!
Immediately they dart their eyes at you upon hearing the loud sound, and they start to stalk closer, sort of like creaking and very almost mechanical, despite their bark-like skin.
What do they look like?
They almost look like they're made of plant material, like tree bark and sort of winding veins of wood, all culminating in this very sort of like almost like a carved head with these like dill pickles.
Dill pickles.
It's just a living herb guy.
Dimly glowing eyes, with like a sort of strange ethereal green glow to them.
Are they like humanoid? Are they quadruped? Like...
They're humanoid, 2 legs, 2 arms. Their sort of head kind of goes up into some branches, and there is actual like sort of small leaves coming out of what looks like hair.
As Winona drags Carrioris into the sea, the moment she sees these creatures, she and she like pulls back on Winona's, so it's like a sort of boomerang motion where she's like been running fast and then has to stop and go,
No, come back.
No, I'm not dying here.
Big ears, that's really loud.
No, it's fine. Mr. Burrows! Someone. Okay, I'm gonna turn back to the things and be like, hello, how's it going?
We'll get you, and I'll pull my bow out.
Upon seeing the bow, one of the creatures starts to sort of back up on its haunches, and produces like a sort of, it's almost like the material of their skin is kind of shifting a little bit. Like almost like they can shapeshift in a certain way, and the hand becomes sort of club-like, like they're poised into a weapon, and they get on their haunches ready to sprint towards you.
Okay.
Can everyone please roll initiative?
I'm sorry, but I carry this bow and arrow around every day.
Up to you. Ooh. Oh. Okay.
12?
10.
No,
2.
sorry.
2.
13.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Look, I think Hunter's, if anything, he's just kind of like sauntering up.
Yeah.
Like, here's the yelps, but takes the same pace as always. He has 1 movement speed.
So Hunter last. What was everyone else's roll, sorry?
19.
19.
13.
13.
10.
As he arrives, he's just like, huh.
Okay, Winona, you have the top of the turn.
Oh my god.
It's
Oh my
happening,
god.
it's happening.
I'm gonna loose an arrow. I'm gonna shoot one.
Okay, there is one sprinting towards you. The other 2 haven't really reacted yet, so you aiming towards the one.
Yeah, the one sprinting towards me.
Okay, cool. Please make me an attack roll.
We're so unprepared for this. Clearly very unprepared for this. That's a 10 to hit.
That is a miss, I'm afraid. The as they're sprinting towards you, the creature just sort of like almost senses the tautness of the string, like they can read when you're about to loose. Perhaps in your infancy as an archer, you're still telegraphing when your arrows.
Normally
are
my
ready.
trees don't move when I'm shooting at them.
At which point they sort of like just jolt their body like that. And by the time that you've loosed the arrow, you've already set your target, and it just flies past and flings off into the distance.
Hell, I've only got so many of those.
3.
Yeah, ammunition?
I'll be honest, I don't normally keep track of that. But
I'm going to say you've got a set of 12 arrows, and that was one gone.
Ooh. Oh, the stakes are high.
That's all that comes in my first bow set.
I
Even an
had to take
archer's
the
dozen.
rubber off. I had to sharpen them. It took me a long time.
From Battel.
Battle. I love that.
Any bonus actions?
No, I'm a baby. I've got nothing. Oh.
Ooh.
No, I didn't hit, so never mind.
Oh.
Nothing. I'll just panic and try and reach for another arrow scrabbling around.
Cariaris.
Use action to cry.
Yeah, Cariaris is going to move as far as she can away from the monsters.
Mm-hmm. Walk speed? Or run speed, right?
30 feet.
30 feet. Alright, you run 30 feet away.
Well, running, I can use my action to double my movement.
Mm-hmm. You doing that?
Are you dashing away?
Through the snow?
Fleeing into the distance.
I think Cariaris is she's gonna look around for somewhere she can use as cover.
Okay, so you're on the high street, so there are sort of like, you know, the standard shops that you see as well as the office. You can dip into one of the buildings, or you might want to jump behind, for example, like some crates that have been left out.
I think she's gonna go behind the crates.
Okay, so let's say
How far are these crates?
let's say they're about 25 feet away from your current position. You dip behind the
Dip
crates.
behind
you
the
now
crates.
feel safe in your
So that's my
protecting them.
movement, because my movement's 30 feet.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna look at the monsters,
Mhm.
whimpering the whole time. And she's gonna cast Bane on them.
What's the range on that?
Ooh.
Around 30 feet.
They are not 30 feet away
You've run pretty far.
because you've run in the opposite direction 25 feet.
Yeah. Oops.
Maybe before you run, you could cast that, but
You could like throw it behind you as you're running.
See ya.
I mean, I can imagine her doing that.
Let's say that if you are bolting away, no, that's fine. Yeah, we just wreck on that. That's all good. So you want to cast that and then run.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
say she casts it while sort of running and like looking back. So you...
what does that look like? Are you just like flute?
Benny Hill music. Could you please explain Bane to me and the audience?
Okay, up to 3 creatures of my choice.
Mm-hmm. So
all 3 of them.
Hunter, Winona, and Iris. Yeah.
No, all 3 of the monsters.
Mhm.
They need to make a charisma saving throw against my DC, which is 14.
Very well. Okay, the one sprinting towards is affected by Bane. The other
Okay.
2 are not.
So I just got 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one sprinting towards. And what effect is that having on our dryads?
Okay.
What?
Sorry?
The amount of times I've done that.
Can we just like bleep it out? Like, so doing
Know
weird?
what a dryad looks like out of character. You know what they look like.
Whenever it makes a saving throw or an attack roll, they need to roll a d4 and subtract that number from the result.
From attack or saving throw.
Yes.
Cool. Alright. Anything else you want to do? Any bonus
It
actions?
lasts up to a minute. Concentration.
Only a minute? Okay, cool.
Concentration up to a minute.
Okay, so that is you then.
Yeah.
You are concentrating
Yeah, I
on
have to
doing that.
concentrate on it.
Okay,
How
cool.
long is it round again? 10 seconds.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
10
6
rounds.
seconds, yeah.
So if I have to make a concentration saving throw whenever I get hit, or
Yeah.
yeah, to
If you take
maintain it.
damage, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Can you tell which ones are the D&D players?
One's foaming at the mouth to do combat.
Speaking of which, it's Iris.
Why am I just dropped to all four?
Werewolf mode.
I bite it. Iris is gonna look around and see everyone's kind of hanging back. I am going to use Hexblade's Curse on.
Sorry, what? What was that?
What?
What were you
This is a
using?
very roguish ability.
Yeah, no, super roguish. So as a bonus action, I'm going to choose the one at the front that's coming towards us, and curse it for a minute or until it dies. I have +2 bonus to damage rolls on it. I score a critical hit on it if I hit a 19 or a 20.
Is that just a given, or do I need to roll a saving throw?
No, it just happens.
Okay, cool. Right, you can keep track of that.
Cool. I will. That's fine. And then I'm also going to everyone's hanging back, so I'm just going to kind of like look around. And I'm going to.
Are you trying to disguise it?
Like a sneeze.
Iris, are you okay?
Magic
You've got
surrounds
purple
it.
snot coming out.
Does it look? What does it look like? Does it look?
What look?
Like a.
I do think it's very ostentatious. I think it is kind of like glowing gold and bluish colors.
Okay,
Yeah.
so immediately you see like the wave of presumably magic passing. I'm assuming everyone is looking at the creatures.
Yeah.
You feel this wave of energy go past you, and you see this strange golden blue sparkling pulse into the creature that is running towards you. At which point you look back and just see Iris go.
That's a natural 1!
For the attack.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you describe the attack to me before you roll it?
Yeah, sure. So, Iris lets her kind of camera dangle, but she like is holding it for a minute, and then like I think a wave of energy like pulses out from the camera, and then she kind of reaches out an arm and then does it. Oh no, she uses her tattooed arm to do it, because that makes sense. And then it spirals out from her hand and goes wide. And as it's a natural 1, I think something bad's probably going to happen.
So what were you casting? Was that your curse?
No, that was Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, could you tell me the attack?
Yeah, no, of course.
I was like, cool, is this a sword? Like
Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since you cast this.
Yeah.
There are not many occasions in which your other class star tends to rear its ugly head. At which point it's almost like a sort of muscle memory to just be like, oh crap, I'm fast from situations where you've been in danger before. But the technique is well off.
Yeah.
You didn't have your hip set right, you didn't set yourself up properly, and as you cast, it sort of like bends through the air, completely missing the creature that's running towards you, and smashes into into a poster on the wall. Smashes into a shop front and sets fire to a display of trinkets that someone is selling outside.
Who did that?
I can't believe someone did this.
Did we catch Iris doing this? So we kind of turned back as the camera is glowing and stuff like
I
that?
am staring directly at the monsters and you're in front of me, right?
Are you trying to obscure your
I
cast?
think literally the impulse, like the reaction of like we're in danger, let's go, she isn't trying to hide it.
I think it's quite clear that
Yeah.
Iris did.
Because
that,
I would be at the back, I think, because my initiative is lower. But your camera glows.
It's in front of me,
First.
so I don't know if you would have seen it because
Oh, okay, just like a blast of light and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Hunter's just like, like, new flash.
yeah.
It's basically like, we'll talk about it later. Kind of like, there are bigger things to think about right now than what
Big
just happened.
Marvel energy, well done.
And then she's gonna just sigh and just be like, instead she's gonna take out her katana and just get ready.
Okay.
For a second, I thought you said guitar, and I was like, I was just gonna bust a tune.
Okay. We move on to these creatures who have not been named. We are
Dewey and Louie.
I was
Huh?
so excited to
Dewey
roll
and
a
Louie.
19.
Here we Dewey and Louie, exactly, yeah.
That's the nickname for them now.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to say H, D, and L, just so I
There we
can
go.
keep track of them. So the H creature is sprinting towards Winona. They are sort of rearing up as they run. Winona, you're still sort of like struggling to get the next arrow into your bow when they leap up into the air and try to smash down into you with their club hand. Alrighty.
No. Oh, not the club. Not the club.
In the club.
In the club.
50 Cent is approaching.
Roll a d4, minus from that.
Oh yeah. If it's
Ooh.
Bless you, Cariaris.
That is... What's your DC?
Not See, I'm assuming I have armor, but I won't. I'm at work, so I'm not wearing my armor, so it'll be 13.
13. Yeah, that doesn't hit. So, luckily, just in the last second, you managed to just step to the side and avoid a blow. And as the sort of club hand comes cleaving down into the dirt next to you, it spits up. It's almost like a splash of mud on your leg, so you can feel the force of the hit that would have smacked into you had you not gotten out of the way.
Okay, we're all bad. That's fine.
The other creatures then start to catch on to what's going on and realise they're in a combat situation. One of them looks towards Hunter. And starts to kind of like lock eyes with you and tilt its head, at which point its eyes start to glow a little bit. Could you please make me a wisdom saving throw? With a DC
Wisdom,
of
huh?
14.
You boys got it.
What, sorry?
DC of 14.
He's got it, yeah.
I don't know how DC works. But I'll make a wisdom saving throw.
Beat 14.
Oh, okay, I got 19.
Cool. You can feel like almost like it's trying to work its way into your brain, and immediately you sort of shake your head like that and break its eye contact before anything can start. There's sort of like a annoyed screech from it, at which point
Hunter just grumbles in return. Like, if they go high, he's just like...
at which point it starts to run towards you as well. I'm going to say that actually, yeah, the other two creatures are running at the same time. They sort of like split off.
Are they kind of in like goose formation, like flying V at this point? With
So one of them has just smashed
Winona,
right next to Winona.
And
The other two are now
back.
sprinting behind them. Yeah. So the one on the right is coming towards you. The other is coming towards Iris. We'll do the attack that goes onto you first. Again, you see it sort of like shift its hand a little bit. Actually, do you know what?
What are they thinking about?
The
What are they
third
doing?
creature is not going to attack. Instead, again, their eyes start to glow and they aim at their compatriot.
Oh.
Which one? The one near Winona?
The one that is currently running towards
that's
you with a
running
weapon
away.
hand. And you see the weapon hands start to glow.
Okay. Are they all club weapons now?
Yeah,
All three of
they're
them?
sort of like blunt
Four.
instruments that they're making out of their hands.
Cool.
At which point, they start to rear up and swing down with that club, which is glowing. That is going to be, what's your DC?
What AC?
AC.
AC, sorry.
It's at the top.
Is it at the top?
Yep.
Thank you, 17.
It's
Damn.
gonna hit, I'm
Ooh!
afraid.
That's nasty.
Alright.
Oh, no, it doesn't have Bane. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
No,
All
only
good?
one of them has Bane, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh.
Oh, but it's an action. I was going to say I have shell defense.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, I have a
Yeah, I'm
shell. Can't I
afraid.
use the shell somehow?
Yeah, you can like retract into it, right?
Yeah,
Which is
but it
quite
says an
fun.
action, which I think it would need to be a reaction, right, to be able
How
to...
much health has Hunter got?
Probably less in a moment. I don't actually know where health is. 32 hit points. There we go.
Okay, that is going to do 11 points of damage.
Good lord.
Gosh.
It's nasty.
You feel it crack into your shell. And suddenly, I think with that hit, the realization sets into all of you, and you're like, oh my god, I'm a civilian, I'm not good at combat. There is like a sort of like throbbing feeling in your shoulder where you can feel the sort of...
He's not got
innate-
great shoulders already. Because,
Yeah.
like, having a shell on your back for years...
Oh
and
god,
years-
yeah, I can imagine, yeah. But the sort of innate magical tinge of it as well is almost like scalding on your skin, and you sort of like pulse backwards and it just sort of shakes your head. Can everyone please make a charisma saving throw?
Woohoo. I can
Very good.
I've made 3 rolls so far. 2 of them have been 2. I got 7.
7,
19.
19,
6.
6,
8.
8. You two are starting to feel quite panicked. Every time you catch the eyes of these creatures, they seem to sort of like, it's almost like they're willing you to run from them. And you're not necessarily bowing down to their demands, but you're definitely feeling like maybe that's a good idea. We shift on over to Hunter's turn.
Alright. Did you say it cracked my shell?
Not fully, but it cracked it to the point where it felt pretty bad.
But that
There's-
sounded horrible.
There's definitely a split,
Nasty crunch.
All right.
I feel like that would sound like a broken
Glad that
bone.
wasn't me.
Oh no, your shell would be really bad in this. Yeah. Would be
How many hit points you got?
11.
Oh well.
Oh.
I think Winona is very panicked right now.
That's fair.
If a big shell took that much of it, I'm like, my little bones.
Sorry, I'm having a think. Okay. Okay. So, this dryad, or what? This mysterious creature,
Matthew
who knows what it
Jarvis.
could be, stood next to me.
Are you metagaming?
No, I'm just working out. It's just hit me, so it's next to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm currently unarmed because obviously I kind of rolled up and was like, huh, and then got smacked.
No one was prepared for this. That's
Yeah.
for certain.
So I think Hunter is now just like, well, it's been a while. So reaches back into his shell and pulls out the equipment I chose to start this game with, which is a hand axe and a whip.
Oh! I thought you were gonna get the
What?
Leonardo's like 3.
Like Wolverine claws.
Whip.
Way to assume wills. And I think the axe, for context, is something that Hunter normally uses for like investigating. You use it to like dig up small things or like chop small samples. So it's probably got like mud on it. So I think he just kind of knocks it off in his shell, you know, like you do with your boots when you're coming from a walk.
I'm gonna say that will probably eat up your bonus action just to get that in hand. If that's all right.
That's fine.
No,
Yeah,
equip it,
that's
yeah.
fine. I assumed as much. So I've got hand axe and whip. Can I whip the Dryad's weapon arm to restrain it,
Okay.
and then take a swing with the axe? That's what I basically want to do. As like as one action.
That's a lot for one action.
It is
my
love
friend.
one action. I
It
think
did glowy eyes at me, ran up and hit me. I think
That's the creatures.
these things are built for combat.
Yeah.
I'm in a shell.
Exactly.
Get in it.
Look, man, I've seen some stuff. You don't go reporting local news without coming armed.
I think. I'm assuming you're not proficient in 2-weapon fighting.
No, I mean I'm not really a
offhand.
fighter by nature. Anyway.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
lover.
think you probably struggle to do both. But if you want to start with the whip, we can come back around to the axe.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll try and restrain the weapon arm at least.
Okay. Whip is a dex based, I'm assuming.
I guess so. I'm not the D&D guy here.
Imagine it's like rolling to try and restrain or something.
I think if you're not physically
Whip, attack type
grappling-
melee, damage type
Strength.
slashing, properties finesse, reach, proficiency with. I don't have proficiency with a whip.
Great start.
It doesn't say anything about
That
dex.
is shocking to me. Okay, all right. Let's say, please roll me an attack roll, and then I'm gonna roll in defense to see if you can try and restrain it.
Oh wow, that was a nat 20. Finally.
Oh wow. Okay.
Finally.
Don't worry about
Restrain.
it. Yeah. So like. It's almost like riding a bicycle, Matt. You just get back in the swing of things, and your little Indiana Jones whip just like wraps around the arm of the, let's say, the club arm that they were about
That's
to
what they
rear
were
up
for,
again.
yeah.
And as they're sort of like pulling to ready up another attack, they can feel it sort of tugging, and you can see the confusion as they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" We will come back around to that because we're going to go to the top of the turn, and it is Winona.
I can't attack it with my bow because I'm right next to it. I think Winona will action disengage. I think like it slammed down to hit her. She like stumbled into the dirt a little bit, and then she heard the crack from Hunter behind her, and she like looks up at it and catches this thing's eyes, and it's like, no, I'm not ready. And then she'll disengage, she'll like duck down and like roll, and then like get up and just like sprint off in another direction.
Okay, as you're doing that, first of all, can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
That's a 9.
Okay, so again, you're not used to this kind of thing. Your lack of combat training is coming into full force now, and as you're trying to disengage, you're sort of stumbling on the dirt behind you. You don't have sure footing, and you fall back into the hands of someone who steadies you. You look up and see like a coif of green hair. Oh my god, it's your dad!
I think like I like tear up a little bit, like just like the panic and the relief at seeing him.
Wordlessly, he sort of like pulls you into his chest, just to sort of like know that you're protected.
Yeah.
And reaches into his sort of belt to pull out a wand, and starts charging a spell that he sort of, with a flick of the hand, just like bolts at one of the creatures, and it sort of like burns the barky skin of one of their arms, and as it flares up, the creature like rears back in confusion and pain, and is like visibly shocked, and it's like, oh, okay, things just got kicked up a notch. And your dad looks down at you and he's like, hell's bells went on. What's going on here?
I don't know. It's all going wrong.
Right.
Daddy.
Okay, look, you just get back. Dad's gonna handle this one, okay?
Okay. I thought I could get it and I couldn't even hit it.
I know. Just come on, go see Caddy.
I'll run off.
All right. He sort of like steps forward, dusting off my Scouse accent. Been a while.
That's good.
Yeah, he steps forward and plants a foot and is sort of like looking at you two to be like, are you okay with being in this fight? Because this is your chance to run.
Sure.
Sure.
Hunter just gives a curt nod, like, I mean,
Alright.
he's already in it at this point. He's got
Yeah.
a whip back round.
At which point we will move to Carrie. Cariaris.
Cariaris. She did very well in that charisma saving throw. So
You're feeling okay. You're
love that,
removed
yeah.
enough that you feel safe.
yeah, she feels safe, like in terms of she knows at this immediate moment she's not being attacked.
Yeah.
Are you squatting behind some crates?
I am squatting behind some crates. Yes.
Good. Just getting the picture of my mind.
We
I
were
remember if
The
he actually
heroic
made it to the
scene.
crates. Yeah.
Yeah. She managed to duck behind the crates after she cast her spell, and she was kind of watching when you were struck. Hunter was struck, and she heard the crack of the shell. She kind of flinched as that happened, but something kind of cemented a resolve in her of seeing her friends in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Fight or flight moment.
She's decided to
And she's already done flight, so
Now all that's left is.
she's gonna stay, and she's gonna cast Healing Word on Hunter.
Nice. Always
60
a winner.
feet, so he's
That's all. Yeah, no, he's 30 feet away, but the creatures at the time
okay.
were about 50.
Heal that taunt. Heal that taunt.
Oh.
7.
Toward teal.
Is that just, I just straight get that back?
7 hit points.
Thanks kindly.
You know.
Yeah.
She like reaches out her hand, and you feel like Hunter feels a kind of warming sensation.
Like someone slapped a deep heat on my shoulder.
Yeah.
You can almost see like your shells slightly repair itself a little bit, like it's stitching
Yeah.
together again. Yeah.
And you've got like a slight taste in your mouth of like pumpkin spice.
He's not normally a fan, but you know.
Yeah, for
he's
some
In this
reason.
situation, you'll
grateful
take
for
it.
it.
Yeah.
I think
Tastes
if,
basic.
if Hunter's got time to notice this, he'd probably look around and again just give you like a nod as like thanks.
Yeah, Cariaris yells across the street. Hold it in there. You can do it. Although, you know, if you want to run away, we can always do that. But I'm here.
At the back. Yeah, okay, so moving on to Iris.
Yeah. Okay. Iris has seen that Winona's dad is here and is feeling a bit better. Is Winona's dad close to one of the dryads now, or like is anyone close to any of them?
He's probably about 15 feet away.
Okay.
And it's kind of like shielding Winona.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's still gonna keep her distance, and she's gonna try once again to LEB.
Just your classic LEB.
Just an LEB on the lead one that's baned, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
What does Bane do? Can you remind me? Sorry.
It is a D4 minus from attack or
D4
saving
minus.
throw.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
That is 13 to hit.
13 to hit is good.
Oh! What's happening? Oh my god!
I feel like you were setting yourself up for disappointment there.
Oh
You
no,
were
sure,
trying to give up.
absolutely was. No, for sure. Oh damn! That's 8 points of damage, Wheels.
Well. and that's on the one that sprinted in the first place.
Yeah.
Huey.
Yeah.
So Huey takes a blast into the chest. You see like that burst of flame emits from the sort of like shoulder chest region of the lead dryad, and again they screech, and they're just starting to sort of like back off a little bit now, as they're feeling that, you know, at some point they felt a lot more confident than they do now, and as they're sort of like shifting back, they're getting sort of like a slight distance between your group and theirs.
Okay.
And at that point, Wilder, we're known as Dad, steps forward and puts his wand back into his belt and just sort of takes his hands out gently like this and starts speaking in a language that you're not fully fluent in yet, Winona, in Elvish.
I will say that I think Cariaris is fluent in Elvish.
Yeah.
So
Let me check quickly. Languages.
May is one of my languages because I am an
Yes,
elf.
she is. She learned that in her schooling.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Also,
I mean,
because her mother is human.
yeah,
But I guess she thought it was quite quaint to explore part of her heritage. So yeah, she knows Elvish.
as part of this, you know, modernized and industrialized world, languages that aren't common have become a bit more rare. So you've only really picked stuff up from your dad, but obviously you haven't had a full schooling in the language. Whereas you are from a very, very posh household and have had a very good education. So you know exactly what he's saying. In fact, you pick up on some of the grammar mistakes he makes. But as... I'm not sure that's quite the right pronoun.
That conjugation's correct.
But as he sort of like gently walks forward, and I'll translate this for your benefit, he is sort of like just gently speaking like, hey, it's okay. I can tell you're not supposed to be here, and I know there's a lot going on right now, but why didn't you just take this opportunity to run, okay? You're out of your head, you know, out of your depth, and this is a dangerous situation. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
I think Cariaris is like, again, peeking over the crates and watching this. She just wants to see how they initially react to this.
I think the creatures sort of like lower their clubs and again just sort of like cocking their head and looking at this this strange man. So they
have a sentient.
They have relaxed a little bit.
Okay.
They're backing off, and you can tell. Can you make me a perception check or a
Insight?
I've forgotten the word. Insight. Thank you very much. Whichever you prefer.
All we hear is...
Yeah. That's the hard day.
Elvish basically sounds like that. From what I know.
I believe that's chthonic.
13?
13. Yeah, you can tell that they're like difficult to read their body language because.
But they're backing off.
Yeah, you can tell that. You can tell they seem to be.
They've stood up. They're
less
not
aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are pushing back, and it seems like Wilder has like a bit more of a handle on the situation.
Okay.
And there's like a calm quiet for a second.
Will there be any opportunity for Cariaris to interject at this moment? Or
We're
something?
still in initiative order at the moment.
Okay.
However, you hear the clinking of spurs behind you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Cariaris hears the clinking of spurs, and thinking back on what she knows about. We all know it's Maxwell Morgan. Yeah. I think her immediate reaction is going to be worry that he's going to escalate the situation.
Oh, there he is.
If this is an initiative order, she can't act, right?
You can talking's free.
Talking's free.
Yeah.
Okay. Can she stand up behind the crates?
Yeah.
She's been surprisingly. There's this bravery is not something she's familiar with.
It's awakened something inside of you, this experience.
For some reason, she has the fear isn't so overwhelming for her, and maybe that's because other people, you know, are in peril. And
It might even be an aspect of like, you know,
she's confident in Elvish.
this is a simple fear.
Also, it's simple, but also because this is something she's confident about. Like, this is an area where she feels like she has some knowledge and kind of skill in.
I think maybe in comparison to the sort of like
Fighting,
modern anxieties that you normally are
Yeah.
worried about, like this is like a very primal, like normal thing to like get a hold of.
Mm.
It's almost comforting in the fact that like I know what the danger is. It's not just this like strange presence around me of people judging me or like being worried about what I'm doing and all that. kind of stuff.
I mean, like usually the fear comes from dealing with people that make her feel uncomfortable. But she stands up. She wants to make sure that the creatures can see her, and she's going to call out to them in Elvish, and she's going to say, don't worry, we're not here to cause any harm to you. We just want to know what you want.
So the creatures aren't speaking, but again, they're hearing multiple points. I'll take this hat off. He's not here yet.
Preemptive hat.
Yeah, there's like multiple sources of a language they understand. Like they've been almost like scolded a little bit from the spells they took, and they're like, okay, and obviously one of them is restrained as well. So like, there's an element of like, all right, this is not as overwhelming majority that we thought we had. And you can tell from their body language that they're like backing off. They're like, perhaps they're just going to run away.
Okay.
And it seems, especially from Wilder's perspective, that seems like the best option, right?
Yeah.
Because from what you can tell, obviously Ragrump is not known for having monsters around. Seeing creatures like this, and given all of the strange natural occurrences that have been happening recently, it seems like something is, upsetting the wildlife, right? And it seems like they didn't seem like they were coming here aggressively. There's definitely a sense of confusion around their language.
Yeah, Kara is just holding up her hands after she says that, and like looking at them with an expression of like calm and openness.
The one that you have restrained, Hunter, using this moment of calm, retracts the sort of like club shape of their hand, which thins their arm and manages to slip free from your grip, and again just backs off. And there's like a brief, like pregnant pause where everyone is like, "Are we good?" At which point, again, you hear those spurs walking forward, and as you whip your head around, you see Maxwell Morgan. He's not shaved. He's got like a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. There's a dark, brooding expression on his face. And you notice that his hands are already sort of like clasped around his holster where he keeps his wands.
Yeah, don't love the approach, but love the look.
And as he walks forward, everyone hears the spurs. He's being very like purposeful with his steps, like he's trying to intimidate the creatures. And the creatures sort of like notice this like, very, very dangerous looking man walking towards them and start to back off again. At which point Wilder whips around and is like, "Is that Max?" And there's like there's a split apart where he pulls you away, Winona. And Hunter and Iris, you sort of like sit to the side as well. And Wilder goes to talk, to be like, you can see from his facial expression he's about to be like, "Max, it's alright, don't worry." At which point Max equips both wands and just starts blasting projectiles at all of these creatures.
I suspected that might happen.
I think Iris is going to yell, "Get down!" Like at everyone. So
yeah, I would say if anyone
duck.
wants to make a dex saving throw right now, I'm not sure how accurate he's being.
Carrie Iris is gonna duck, but she's also let's see how well she ducks first, actually.
Finally. 19 wheels.
Yeah, immediately. Do you know what? You even grab Hunter and just sort of like push him out of the way. And there's like a sort of like moment of, you should be all right, by the way, for the dex saving throw, because you're not close to the target, Carrie Iris.
Me? Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Cool.
Yeah, at which point there's like a division of your group, and the creatures are literally trying to run and getting blasted with these like sparkling projectiles.
When Carrie ducks down, like goes like that, she's just gonna yell at Maxwell Morgan, like, "No, they were running, they were going to go!"
There's just like a complete lack of attention given to you, as he's literally just like, there's almost like a wry smile on his face as he's just like firing off these wands. It's almost like he's literally got 2 pistols equipped and he's just unloading the clips. At which point, like, one of the creatures like wilts down into the dirt, and it's sort of like just like a heap of smouldering ash, and the other two just sort of like bolt off, limping and running away. He sort of spins his wands like two revolvers, slips them back into the holster, takes off his hat, sits back down onto like a chair outside of the tavern, which you're all nearby, and just sort of like looks around, grabs like a glass of some drink that someone had left, and just starts drinking it.
The Garrett, who's been like ducked down, like covering her face while all of this commotion is happening and spells are flying, having heard it stopped, she's going to take her hands like off her face, look around, check it's okay.
We're now out of combat initiative, just so everyone's aware.
And she's like, her eyes like fix onto Maxwell Morgan, and you see the face just transform from fear to just fury.
Yeah.
Like, she just, like,
you bastard.
and she stands up like that, her hair like flowing up behind her, brushes herself down, and then she stormed like towards Maxwell Morgan in that kind of angry walk.
I think Iris is going to see this and go, oh god, and then is going to like get up from where her and Hunter are hiding, and is just going to run up after you and just be like, maybe don't, just we need him on side, please.
She is
come on.
Listening. She's storming towards Maxwell Morgan with the angry walk, and then she points her finger towards him with the point, and she says, "You odious, arrogant man! There was no need. We had the situation in hand. You could have killed someone. You did kill something. What? Ah!" And she like fists her hand beside her and like stamps her foot.
Pretty sure he's drunk.
Yeah, he crosses his leg over, so he's just sort of sat very casually, not making any eye contact, just sipping his drink, just completely ignoring you. Cut over to Winona. You look around at what's happening. You've been sort of hiding like this, you've been worried. Could you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
I have advantage on that thanks to Maxwell Morgan. On the first one I do. That's a 19.
This is the first time you've ever seen a dead body. As you turn around, you see like this smouldering heap of...
I think, well, like, when I was like not even listening, so like Carrie was not even looking at Max, I think when like kind of her dad like kind of like releases her a little bit, and she kind of just like slowly, silently walks over and like it just gets down, as like hands hovering over the like body of the tree and tree bits and stuff.
Your dad sort of like walks over with you, and let's say that you're sort of like hunched over. He just sort of squats down and is just sighing and looking at like, senseless, absolutely unnecessary. Winona, come on, let's get away from here.
I was just looking at it and like looks off where the other ones like were kind of running back into the forest. They could have really hurt somebody.
Right, but you know, they are just wild creatures. You know, they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know that, right, Winona? You know that they're not evil.
No, nothing's like evil. But yeah. Just thought we could scare them off, and I was the one that started the fight.
Crap. Listen, Winona, don't tell your mum about this, alright? You know, she didn't really want you to have the bow in the first place. If she knew that you'd used it to try and fight monsters in the town, then yeah, I don't think I'd be able to get you a present ever again, honestly.
Yeah, I'll kind of like put my bow back over where I kind of like keep it tucked away. Yeah, I won't mention it. It's fine. Should probably go look for my arrow then. Thanks for saving me.
He gives you like an awkward warm hug. And it's just like, as you look in his eyes, there's like a sort of sense of remorse in his eyes, like, oh god, she's grown up. At that point, Wilder whips around and storms towards Maxwell Morgan, where you are already shouting at him.
His unreply has made her even more angry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're just going to sit there, are we? No, why don't we just sit here and not talk about the fact that you have murdered a creature that we were conversing with? You know those creatures? They could have been, I don't know how old. They were scary, but they looked scared of us. And, well, yeah.
Wilder walks behind you and just sort of like rounds the corners, and he like nods at you and says, "Yeah, Maxwell, what the hell was that? It was completely unnecessary." At which point, hearing the accent, Maxwell sort of perks up and he's like, "Is that Wilder?" "Yeah, it's me. What the hell's wrong with you? Have you been drinking?" "Oh, a little bit. Saved the day again though, didn't I?" Wilder is just sort of like head in hand for a moment. He's just like, "I think you need to go home, mate." Maxwell just sort of like grabs his hat, just downs the drink that he had, and it's just like, "Yeah, well, I got business to attend to anyway," and just starts to sort of like,
You're supposed to be having business with us. You agreed to that.
What time is it?"
What time is it?
It's like 9 a.m.
It's 9 in the morning. Have you been up all night?
No comment. Yeah, okay, we supposed to have a meeting, right? Yeah. All right, let's go. Meeting time.
I think Iris is going to just kind of like step forward so that like it's a whisper to him, and just like beside him just be like, if you want to fix what happened years ago, then this isn't the best way to do that.
I'm sorry, I don't remember asking for advice from a person who chased my best friend into a hole, but, you know, if I ever need some, I'll let you know, all right? Why don't we go back to your office and we can talk?
I'll look back to everyone else.
I'll come over and be like, "There's a cigarette butt in your drink."
Yeah, I know, I put it there. Mine's been home.
They call that a Ragrump special.
No, that's a rag soaked in alcohol.
That's a
Like a
Molotov cocktail.
Just drink
then you
Molotov cocktail.
Oh, and then you suck on the rag. Oh, that's horrible.
It's good for the babies.
Oh.
Keeps them quiet. Right.
Yeah.
Hunter?
I think Hunter probably was surprised at Maxwell Morgan's appearance, like everyone else. Probably wasn't surprised at what transpired afterwards. And while Maxwell is being, like, yelled at, basically, I think Hunter is probably just going around checking on folks. So obviously checks on the group first, asks if anyone's injured, which I don't think anyone else was, right?
There was definitely like confusion and panic, but I don't think any like bystanders actually got hurt.
Okay, yeah.
Except for the fire over there.
was
I don't know
gonna
how
say,
that happened.
If no one else is
Yeah,
injured,
in the background, people are pouring buckets of water over it.
I think if no one else is injured, they'd probably go over and help, like, put out those flames.
Yeah.
Because Maxwell's being dealt with. Like, his focus is now just on trying to, like, recover everything else.
Cool. Okay, is everyone happy to move on into the office and start this little meeting? So we walk into the office, the Ragrump office of the Society Star. Findus is squirreled away into his office. He probably didn't even notice the commotion outside because he's just shouting down the phone at someone. And you all sit around a desk in the center of the room, with Maxwell smelling of whiskey and everyone else smelling of combat and sweat. And as you just sort of ruminate in it, there's like an awkward silence around the table, and he's just like, "All right, what do you want to talk about?"
Well, you said that maybe we could chat about how if we all work together, then maybe we could adventure together and stuff, and we could. It would be more helpful if we were all on the same page.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, listen. My investigation is is still going to be partly private. I'm just going to put that out there right away. There are still details that I can't divulge, which are Hero and Adventurers Guild, need to know basis. You get the idea, all right? But I can fill you in on anything you got questions on. And this time, full honesty or whatever.
Do you know who the other person in the Rump the Ragger costume is? Do you know who that is?
What now?
There's somebody else running around in a Rump costume. We don't know who it is.
What do you mean somebody else?
Yesterday you were busy with Jeffrey, and that meant that you couldn't have been running around in the Rump the Ragger costume like we thought you were.
Sorry, just clear something up for me. What the hell are you talking about, Rump? Is this some kind of cartoon character?
They're the town mascot. They represent all of the things that the Ragrump stands for, like rags and positivity, and you can read a lot into it. Each is an individual.
Okay, thank you. What exactly is the relevance of this creature?
So you haven't been going around in this costume around the town, because that's what the mayor told us.
No, the mayor said that Jeremy had been dressing in the Ragrump costume.
Oh.
At his request, the mayor's, to try and basically cover up some of your whatever activity, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, sorry, I get you. Yeah, the mayor pointed out that I could use some kind of costume or something.
Iris is gonna drag out one of the costumes because she took all of them. She's gonna hold it up like this. You see this?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I gave it one smell and didn't really think about putting it on, but
Okay.
Wow. So what? Jeremy's been using that.
Yes.
But there was someone else in it, because
there was somebody else in it.
The other night with Jeremy, I was chasing Rump the Ragger, and then they just disappeared like a puff of light and smoke.
Well, I'm sorry. What is the relevance of this?
Well, they're one of the missing people, and now they're back, but they're not them, and we thought that was just Jeremy, but I don't know, is
you haven't been working with Jeremy to use these costumes, so Jeremy has been working with somebody else who has access to these costumes, because they were leaving a potion for somebody else. They marked an ear.
Jeremy was my PR manager. I don't really understand what Jeremy would have to do with anything outside of that.
Nor do we. Does that not make you a bit suspicious at all?
What exactly did you see?
Why
did you chase them in the first place? That's the thing that I've been thinking about the most.
Yeah. You know what? Can we just put this to rest? I'm very sorry about what happened to Jeremy. Maybe I shouldn't have chased them. I didn't know it would end up in them falling into a huge pit. That's something no one could have thought about. No, I wouldn't have known that, and I'm very sorry about it, and I'm sorry for your loss. But they might be okay. We don't know. We need to figure out what's going on. There's a chance that we could save them if we just work together. But I will sincerely apologize to you for causing you this distress. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry to everyone.
All right. Look, let's, like you said, bygones and bygones or whatever, but, I'm never going to really trust you. You understand that? Let me just lay that out clear so that our working relationship can be one of honesty. Yeah?
I'll be honest, I probably won't trust you either.
All right, well, I guess we're in a good situation.
I think Cariaris lets out a very high kind of... Oh, I'm sorry, wait, what did I just hear? Honesty. From your mouth, honesty. The word honesty.
Yeah, that was the word I used, yeah.
That's very ironic, considering the amount of honesty that you've shown us.
You got something to say?
Yes, I do, actually. Sir. Sir,
Thank you for asking.
Actually, no, I don't have anything to say. I don't know. It's very clearly that you have been hiding things from us, from the mayor. The mayor, we spoke to him thinking that he was behind some sort of elaborate scheme. It turns out he knows absolutely nothing. He's just as useless and oblivious as we hoped he wasn't. But I guess now he's trying as much as he can. But you You can, again, what happened with Jeremy was terrible. We can't take that back. All we can do is try and make it better. But right now, I'm not getting any of that from you. I'm just getting anger and claims to honesty. But I am convinced, I don't know if the rest of us, but there is something that you are not telling us, connected to whatever it was that happened all those years ago when you first came here. Why would you come here again? What was the point? You say that, you're here because you have a fond connection with this town. I've met people like you before. I don't care about places like this. Heck, I didn't care about a place like this until, I guess, maybe I do care. There's got to be something else.
Let me get one thing straight before I say anything else. Carrie Harris, you don't know nothing about me. Alright? But if you want the truth, and as much truth as I can legally give you, I am investigating some kind of creature. Some kind of, like I said in that meeting, in the first conversation we ever had, there is some kind of creature. I believe it lives underground, perhaps in the sewer system behind and beneath Ragrump. I am willing to show you what little evidence I have. But you have to understand, as was clearly evidenced this morning, you are completely out of your depths. You understand me? You ain't heroes. You ain't no warriors. We get ourselves into some kind of scrap. You do as I say so. Or else I don't know if you'll ever leave that place. You understand?
We just want to help. And whatever you think is best, we'll be just happy to help. We just want to protect our town.
Alright, look. Is there anything you need to do before we make this investigation official? Because getting down into them sewers, it ain't easy. And once we're in there, I know how long it's going to take.
The sewers, yes.
Yeah, that's right, the sewers.
Yes.
I've got some wellies you can borrow.
Well, I suppose I can wear your wellies and find some sort of coat, regardless. You know, sure, we're not fighters or warriors or whatever. But I don't know, I haven't seen what you did today. Maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Anyone else? Any more snide comments before I lead you down into the depths?
If we can all just try to treat each other with civility, I think that will make this an easier time.
Sure. Look, there is a manhole behind the town hall. Meet me there in about 5 or so hours. I need to get some goddamn sleep. But then I will show you what I found. Sound good?
That sounds good. Thank you, Maxwell.
All right. Oh God, it's bright in here. I need to leave. He just sort of like jolts up and sort of slaps himself around the face, waves his sort of like smell out of his own nostrils. It's just like I said, I need to freshen up, so I'll see you in a few hours. And just once again, before anything else happens, I need you to know this is not a kid-friendly mission, all right? This ain't no fun little excursion into some kind of theme park. This is real stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
You got a weapon, I recommend you bring it. He sort of walks off, just sort of slams the door behind him.
He's left.
Yeah.
Ass!
Kairos looks over and the kind of like cross-armed, like you got my order wrong look on your face.
The Karen.
Yeah.
Karen Aris.
That's what we call her. I'm angry with you. Look, yeah. It kind of drops and she like looks around the office. I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. I don't really want to go down that sewer, but I didn't want to admit it in front of him.
We already know that.
Okay. So
The wellies are green. If that, maybe they'll match what you're wearing.
I guess it's not just the whole stinky, smelly, disgusting scenario. It's also the fact that, much as I hate to admit it, Maxwell is right. I'm not a fighter. I'm just a, I know I have a good education. I can do one or two sort of parlor tricks, but I'm not capable of dealing with genuine danger. What if we go down there and it really is as bad as he said it is?
I don't know. I don't think Maxwell is back here because he cares about the town, like you said. I think he's here because he couldn't solve what happened years ago, and he's trying to come back here to prove himself. And so I don't have faith in him that he can solve it this time. I think he needs us more than he's willing to let on. And I think that if we're gonna get these people back, hopefully, or if they're gone, somebody needs to put a stop to it. And why don't we try to do that safely as possible?
He might need you. I'm not sure he needs me all that much.
Carriaris, we saw what you did. I mean, I did. You healed Hunter when he had taken a significant blow. That is essential. I'm not trying to give you a bolstering compliment. I'm saying genuinely that we could use your help.
I guess for your sake and the sake of Ruby and Jeremy and everyone else who's gone, I'll do my best.
While you're talking, I think Hunter will just after Maxwell exits, get up, walk over to the stationery cupboard or stationery. Probably they don't have a cupboard, they can't afford that. Stationery shelf. Just picks up 4 fresh notepads, reporter style flip tops, and walks back over, and probably goes carry Iris first, and it's Iris is right. You stuck around. You fixed me up, and we're not going down as warriors. And he just hands you a notepad. He's we're going down as reporters, and well, there'll hopefully be something to write about.
Okay. Let's do this stupid, very dangerous, very smelly thing.
Winona, how do you feel? You seemed unsure earlier.
I have been dreaming my entire life of getting into a situation like that. And I'll be honest, it really didn't quite go as I thought it would. And maybe I overestimated how good I was in a regular fight by just shooting stationary trees from a few feet away. But maybe I don't have as much to offer either, Carriaris, but there might be something that we can do down there, and if it's the difference of being down there with you guys and I could do something that could help rather than sitting up here and thinking I could have done something if I didn't come, then I'd rather come along even if it's just to bring snacks.
We stay well behind Maxwell Morgan, and he does his job and we do ours.
You saw Max with the wands. He can handle anything. This will be nothing compared to the kind of stuff he's done before.
I don't doubt his ability to protect himself.
And almost shoot us in the head.
I just doubt his judgment. Especially at the moment.
Well, that's why we're there.
Maybe we can talk some sense into drunken brain.
Right, it won't go that far, but we can write it down, and we'll bring it to light.
Yeah, we should get him a coffee.
Yeah, a big coffee.
Yeah.
Let's go to the museum guy's wife.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
not. Maybe she's
Like
around.
a heavy duty coffee.
I feel like
She's the professional we need right
she's
now.
a hazelnut syrup
To
type
be honest,
person.
yeah, I could do with a good coffee.
Let's all go get a coffee.
Yeah.
I'll run home and get snacks and wellies, and then I'll meet you guys there.
While you're there, maybe talk to your parents. If they wanted to come along, that maybe wouldn't be the worst idea.
Yes, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe don't tell your parents what you're up to.
I will let them know. Okay. See you guys later.
You all depart, and we will leave the episode there as we end our 7th episode here of Storybreakers. Just before they head into the strange and mysterious depths of the sewers below Ragrump.
A turtle in the sewers. Who would have thought?
It's coming true. I've never heard of such a thing.
Maybe there'll be pizza down there.
Ooh, cold pizza.
Certainly be rats.
Yay!
Thank you very much for watching Storybreakers episode 7. We will see you on the next one. But until then, please do make sure you check out all of the other things that we've been putting up on youtube.com/Dicebreaker. We've had loads of stuff go out over the Christmas holiday break. And we've also got loads of really, really cool projects that we are working on coming up in 2023. It's a good year to be a Dicebreaker fan. Head on over to Dicebreaker.com as well to see some of the fantastic coverage of everything tabletop from these two fellas and also our fantastic contributors, including the lovely Chase Carter. We will see you on the next one, but until then, have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Bye.